it's Matt from Tubby Tarot again. Welcome to another book chat. Tell me, does size really matter? I mean, if it's really, really small, for me anyway, I'm kind of like, no ways, I'm not doing this, not with something that tiny. And if it's too big, I kind of had a problem with that as well. I'm like, dude, seriously, like, what the hell? So I must be honest, I like mine just the right size, just so. Of course, we are talking about the size of the font inside your favorite book. Let's be honest, if you open your book and suddenly the writing is like teeny tiny, I guarantee you are suddenly like put right off. You're like, oh God, now I've got to read this teeny tiny script, and your eyes are going to hurt. You are even sometimes like going to miss lines and think, oh God, then you got to go back. And it's just really, really painful. The other problem is if you read script that is printed too big, um, to me, I feel like I'm kind of, when somebody talks down to you, I almost feel like that. I'm like, what the hell? I do have some books from my childhood that have got really big writing in them, but obviously you expect that. But I've seen adult books with like really, really big writing, and I just sometimes think to myself, wow, are you doing this to pad out the book so it looks really thick? Or what is the thought process behind this? But my absolute pet peeve is when the writing is so tiny that it's barely legible. Now, I understand when you are talking about sort of books by Dickens and that sort of thing. Okay, a lot of Charles Dickens books are written that they're all like this thick, and they're written in tiny, they're printed in tiny script, and there's a reason behind that. The reasoning is that they try to not make the book this size. Okay, the whole thought process behind Dickens is that when Dickens was popular, when he was actually writing in his time, his stories were serialized in the newspapers or whatever. So every week they would get like a little bit of the story, and sometimes the stories could be like there for 6 months or even a year. So what they've done with Dickens's work is they've taken all these little bits and pieces, they've put them together in the form of a book. His writing was never meant to be a book. It was always a serialized story. So that is why a lot of the Dickens and the older books are written in like very small. I don't know if you've seen like an old Bible. Geez, man, the writing is tiny. I also find that your cheaper books, especially like classics, like for instance, I know Penguin Classics sometimes does this. You order a book and you're expecting a book like this size, something like that size, and you're actually ending up getting a book that is like a quarter of that size. And then suddenly you open it up and you think, oh my God, no wonder it's so small, because the writing is so tiny, So yeah, I must be honest, I do think that size matters, definitely in print. If I pick up a book and the writing is too small, I immediately kind of lose interest before I've even started the story. I know that House of the Seven Gables was like that. The version I ordered online arrived, and oh my God, the print was minute. It was absolutely minute, and of course, it's one of those books that I just couldn't get into. Nathaniel Hawthorne's not my favorite writer, so I kind of just I tried reading it, I couldn't finish it. It's just lying there with this teeny tiny print wallowing in its own juices. So what do you think? Do you like reading books that have got tiny print? Does it make you is it like a challenge for you, or do you agree with me and think that books that have got tiny print or books that have got really big print are kind of stabbing themselves in the foot or shooting themselves in the foot? Okay. Let me know down below. You know who I am. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you next Thursday for some more book chat. Bye.